Welcome to the Legacy Lessons. We break the cycle today. I'm going to start with reading a chapter and I try to summarize things. So, single mom, I quickly learned that her words were like the final boss in a video game. Absolutely non-negotiable. What she said goes. Her word, that's all. Whether she was right or wrong, sometimes she wrong. Discussions were usually one-sided, so it really wasn't no discussion. The apologies were as rare as unicorns. My mom, I don't think I ever recall her apologizing. Maybe when I was expressing my feelings felt like walking on a tightrope. One wrong move can lead to a tumble into disrespect territory. That's the first thing she gonna say. If you will go against anything, if you don't agree with her, if you have an opinion, your disrespectful usually leads to a whooping. Let's just keep it frank. And so I often found myself pondering how this shaped my ability to connect with others as I grew up. Not being able to have that space or that room to kind of express yourself or really even articulate your emotions. Because if you think about it, when you're communicating with someone, you get to that point where you guys don't agree. It's not so much as you trying to argue or you trying to be right. It's really you're trying to articulate your perspective. So you need that space to be able to talk it out how you feel, because most times as we're talking it out, we're processing how we feel, right? We're processing our emotions. And so it's important to have that time as a child or as a teenager as you're growing up, because the better you do something, the more you're able to naturally do that, the better you're able at communicating and understanding your own emotions as well as others as an adult. So now, as I'm navigating the thrilling roller coaster of raising a teenager, I'm determined to flip the script. My mission, to create a vibrant, safe space for my daughter where she can come and express her feelings with freedom of going through the sky. I recognize how vital and emotional intelligence is. Emotional intelligence is key to anything and anywhere. It's important to manage your emotions as well. That's the other thing too. So, emotional intelligence, understanding and processing your emotions, right? Managing your emotions, understand how to communicate how you feel without letting your emotions take over. Understanding what you're feeling and why you're feeling that way. Her to know it's perfectly okay to feel, to disagree, and express herself without a looming shadow of a punishment. I'm a firm believer that no one is ever wrong for how they feel. But it's my job as a parent to help her navigate those emotions, to help her understand and process them without being disrespectful or emotionally. Because if you don't know how to express your emotions in an intelligent way or articulate how you feel without your emotions taking over, you're not going to get very far. I'm not even going to say you're not going to get very far, but you will have an issue with managing your emotions as an adult. Because you see adults right now that they get angry, they spaz out, they break things, they crash, or they're crying all the time, or you're just kind of all over the place. And it honestly looks like when my toddler is having a temper tantrum, but in an adult size form. So I try to teach my kids, even my toddler, I teach him, use your words. Tell me how you're feeling. I go over his feelings with him now. He's learning, so I'm like, honest, this is mad, this is angry, or this is happy, or this is excited. So I go over the different emotions with him. So now when he's upset or he's going through certain things, I'm like, use your words, tell me how you feel. Or now I don't even have to ask him. He'll just walk around me with his arms folded like this. I'm like, okay, I guess you're angry. So then I give him that attention, right? Because I don't wait for him to for him to lash out or to have a behavior before I give him the attention that he needs. When he has his arm folded, he's showing me signs that he's angry. So I get down with him on his level. I don't talk to him in a demeaning way. Eye to eye with him to show, to insinuate that I'm leveling with you and I'm trying to understand. I get him to tell me in his little words that he can why he's angry and how he's feeling. And that way I'm starting it off there. And you can also reference my book, A Touching Tale. That's a children's book. It helps, for one, it promotes safety. It promotes children to understand and articulate boundaries at a very young age, because when you're a kid or you're a toddler, you have kind of a disadvantage because you don't know much or you don't know how to express or explain. But there is a way. So I teach that. I explain that in the book. The book is from a child's perspective, and it also has pages or parts in the book like from the adult perspective as well. So if you're an adult and you're reading this to your child, it kind of guides you onto how to implicate helping your child understand those boundaries, as well as it's a nice story so your child can relate. You can relate in a childlike way. It's called A Touching Tale. That's also on Amazon, and I will link that as well.